Yeah, people often ask me if I'm an optimist or a pessimist. I don't see myself as an optimist or a pessimist. I see myself just as a realist. I work on climate change because I think we are choosing to fail, but we could choose to succeed. There is a choice in there. And when many mean succeed, I think we could hold the temperature rise to about 2 degrees centigrade. I think that's still viable. If you ask me in 5 years or 10 years' time, I probably would say it would no longer be viable. I think it's still viable just today. I don't think 1.5 is any longer viable unless the negative emission technologies work and then work at scale. And that's a very big if. So we could choose to succeed. My guess about the future is that we will choose to fail. And let's not pretend that it's not a choice. It is a choice. And that we will choose a future of 3 or 4 degrees C for our children and for their children, maybe even higher for their children. And we will choose devastation from many of the poorer, climatically vulnerable parts of the world who have caused none of this problem at all. So that's my scenario, is that we will choose to fail. And then probably some long point in the future, we'll look back, if we're fortunate enough to be in that position, to rue the day when we decided to ignore the science, to ignore any moral framework, to follow a short-term ephemeral diktat that has overly influenced our society for 20 or 30 years. And we have essentially, even the scientists have effectively ignored the physics, the basic laws, the laws of nature that we've come to understand reasonably well. We've ignored them in some sort of arrogant hope that we would be able to find some sort of technologies or ways that we would be able to protect ourselves in the future. So I have a very sort of dystopian view of the future, but the reason I work on climate change is because we can choose to avoid that if we want. Mm. Once I think it's too late, I'll not work on it anymore. I would be only too happy to work on something else. So I hope the climate skeptics are right, much more than they do.